All right. So I'm in a business mastermind group that's led by Lena, where we go out to their company in Santa Barbara once every quarter. So I've gotten to know her over the past year, probably spent about a total of 4 days out there. And I'm going to tell you that she's one of the most impressive people that you're going to meet. And at some point today, as she's teaching, you're going to be thinking one of two things. You're going to be like, wow, I need to be like her, or I need to hire her. But let me warn you, it's going to be difficult to hire her because, one, she lives in Santa Barbara, so I don't know if she wants to come to 100-degree weather with 100% humidity in Alexandria. Then also, she's probably going to be very expensive to get her here because currently she's the president of Entreport, which has grown 5,000% in 3 years. So just think about that, 5,000% growth since 2013. They were on the Inc. 500 list. They were named by Forbes as one of America's most promising companies. She's also started and built many other multi-million-dollar startups. She's won numerous executive awards. I jotted down a few here just so I didn't forget these, but she won the Stevie Award for Female Executive in Business. Her company, Entreport, was on the Achievers 50 Most Engaging Workplaces, and she has also started many communities to help teach what they do at Entreport, including like what she's doing today. One thing she's done is built the Women in Business. It's a community of over 300 women, which she leads virtual hangouts, talking about different issues for females and entrepreneurship. So kind of like Wayne said today about looking at a software company and maybe not seeing how it's applicable. You should have an open mind, just like we do when we go out and learn from her, because she teaches people from all over the world. People from all over the world come to hear exactly what you're going to hear today. And she's going to tell you some things that are different from the way you're doing them. I would recommend that you trust her and trust my experience, that you should implement every single thing that she does. It can transform your business, transform your team's business, and if all 130 business people in this room does what she teaches today, it could really transform business in Alexandria. So now I will turn it over.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm just going to put this right here. Or maybe I won't. Okay, it's a delicate balance. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me because I think it's important to know kind of the different industries I've worked in. I started out my career as a financial planner. I did that for 10 years. I focused on actually corporate finance. I did financial plans for businesses. I always loved business. It was really exciting. And I got into the financial services industry because I wanted to make money. And that's where the money was. I was right out of school, and both my parents were teachers, and I came from a lower middle class neighborhood. And, you know, I was tired of hand-me-downs. We had 5 kids in my family, and I was just like, I was kid number 3, and I was just tired of hand-me-downs. I wanted to make some money. I wanted to work for myself, and I wanted to go, have that dream. You know that song, I Want to Be a Billionaire? You know, that was what was playing in my head. So I got into the financial services arena. I was the only female in a class of 200 people getting trained in this financial, to become a CPA. So it was very challenging times back then. But what was interesting for me is that when I would go and sell into businesses, the people I would talk to, the accountants, the people in HR, they were all women. So they were all very excited when I walked in the door as a woman talking about financial services. So I actually became very successful working in financial services, doing financial plans for businesses. And after about 10 years, I got recruited away by one of my clients to help him with a startup that he was running. And it was really exciting, this startup that he was going to launch, because at this point in my career, I had gone from just being a normal financial planner to actually being the sales manager at Smith Barney, the head of an office of 50 other financial planners that were all like 65 years old. And so it was fun. The fun part for me, actually, instead of doing all the financial plans, which were kind of boring now, the fun part for me was actually managing people and leading people and training people and trying to get these old dudes to do what I wanted them to do. And I started diving into management and taking as many management classes as I could. And that was really interesting, and figuring out how to organize my office to be effective and inspiring. And so when this client came along and said, hey, I'd love for you to do whatever you're doing in your office with my new startup, it seemed like a good opportunity. So his startup was gym equipment. He was the first guy to put those little computer games and exercise equipment at the gym. So like as you're running, you get like high scores, and you jump over little boxes, and you get little points, and they're like, good job, congratulations, you got a little prize, right? So I don't know anything about coding or little circuit boards or any of that stuff. But I did know about people management. I did know about finance. So he's just like, here's some money, here's some people, let's figure it out. And so we took that little gym equipment company, and within a year, we sold it for several $1 million, which was really exciting, within a year. And I thought that was just dumb luck. I couldn't believe it. Beginner's luck almost. And so then he actually referred me to the next business that I worked with, which was a skincare company. This woman he knew was starting a skin company because her daughter had acne, and she didn't want her to have to use chemicals. She wanted her to use like natural products, but there wasn't any good product for her daughter, and so she decided to make her own. And she was about to launch her first actual real product. She had a prototype, but no one had bought it yet. So she's like, what should we do? So picked up the phone and started calling people, and got a hold of people at Sephora and Nordstrom's. All of a sudden, we had a big contract, and we needed several million units of this product that actually cost more to produce than Nordstrom's was willing to buy. So that was, lots of little problems. So we, solved those problems. And, 3 years later, we actually ended up selling this company. The product name was called Tess, Teenage Skincare System. Tess, something like that. To a dermatologist named Tess, which was amazing. For several $1 million in 3 years. It was, and we ended up having 19 employees. It was sold in Target, Nordstrom, Sephora, Ulta, and it was really fun. That was a really fun product, and we started making commercials. We were going to do like proactive infomercials. It was cute packaging. The next company right after that was an interior design firm. Now, I love design. I love interior design. I'm not much of a designer, but I love design. I can tell you if it's ugly or if it's beautiful. I don't know how to make it beautiful, but I can tell you. And this interior design firm had been in business for 13 years. And they had worked on small boutique hotel projects. And they had 9 employees. And they weren't, a 13-year-old business isn't anything to laugh at. Someone who's been in business for 13 years, that's a good business, right? Entreport, the company I work for now, we've been in business for 10 years, and that's something we're really proud of. And, their revenue was about $2 million a year. That's a really impressive business. 9 employees, $2 million a year, 13 years. Well, I joined that organization, and by the time I left, 3 years later, we were 55 people. Our revenue was $85 million that year, and we were working on the largest construction project in the world in Abu Dhabi. All of these industries are totally different. There's nothing, interior design and gym equipment and skincare, the actual product and service, there's nothing similar about those. But what is similar is business. All of the business practices are exactly the same. It's like the human body. You have a skeletal system, that's business. We all have the same skeletal system. Business is business is business. It's all the same. It all involves finances. You have to make more money than you're spending, or you're just not in business, right? And you need people and systems. It's just that simple. If you don't have people and systems, you're just dead. You're just stuck. You're going to end up being you're going to plateau, and you're just never going to move forward. And so, what I kind of view myself as a CEO whisperer. I don't think of myself as the person who kind of comes up with the idea, the product, or the service. And you guys are probably the people in this room are the people who either started the business or have an idea, or you're the visionary. You're the one who came up with the business idea, or you're the business owner. And you need someone like me to kind of come behind you and whisper in your ear and tell you you need help, that you can't do it all on your own, right? That you need a teammate or a team to support you and allow you to focus on what you do best, right? Because you've been successful on your own. You've been successful up to a certain point. And now, in order to get to the next level, you need the right people doing the right work, their very best work, so you can deliver your highest value, your highest worth. Is this ringing a bell with any of you? Yes? Or maybe you're just getting started, right? Some of you are just getting started. And so this information will help kind of guide you as you move through the start phase of your business. It'll help you realize, and it'll put the foundation in place for you now, so you don't have to kind of backtrack later. Okay, so in this session today, we're going to go through a lot of material so quickly. And so these binders are yours to keep, so take a lot of notes. And I was actually telling Wayne last night, I specifically bring materials in binders because I know people don't throw binders away. And so I know you'll save these, and I know you'll pull them out later in the future and refer back to them. So take lots of notes. Okay. So let me tell you about my company, Entreport. We're a software company, software as a service. We're a fancy contact management system. Essentially, we are a tool that entrepreneurs use to run their business. We hold your contacts in our database and help you market to them. And it's just that simple. We do everything from hosting your websites and your landing pages to sending out your emails to your shopping carts, your payment processing, to tracking referrals, all of that stuff. So it's an all-in-one automation tool. And we've been in business for 10 years. We have 120 employees, and we're in Santa Barbara. This is today's agenda. Session 1, we're going to go over these topics. Probably don't mean much to you right now, but they'll mean a lot to you at the end of the day. So let's get started. So here is the big picture. Here's where kind of your vision for your company meets reality, and the gap in between. So when you first imagined starting out in your business, and we have thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs on our platform, and I love getting to travel and talk to all of our clients. And I've kind of figured out that people start their business for kind of one of 3 reasons. They are passionate about something. They see a problem in the world, or something impacted their lives, or they're kind of an artist, or they have a hobby of something, so they're passionate about something, and they want to make their life about that passion instead of their day job, right? So they slowly, as much as they can, move their time more and more and more on that passion, right? That's number 1. Number 2 is they want free time, right? Free time for their family. They want a flexible schedule. They don't want the 9-to-5 grind. They want to be able to work when they want to work. And so they want to work from home. They want to, they want to be a blogger. They want to, whatever it is. So they want free time. Oh, and then the third option, the third reason people start their own business is they want financial freedom. So they want freedom to follow their passion, they want freedom of time, or they want financial freedom. So it's essentially, they want to be free, right? They want to be free from kind of the corporate America having a boss situation. And they picture this world where they wake up in the morning, and you guys probably, see these people boasting about this on Facebook. Some certain people boasting about it, right? They say, "Oh, I just wake up naturally. I don't have an alarm, and then I work out and I meditate, and right, and then I start my job." Working in my beautiful yard or on my boat or whatever they do, right? Those people annoy me. No, that's fine. That's not reality. That's not real. I don't think it's real at all. That's not real life. Nobody's life is like that. But that's what we imagine, right? I imagine that. I imagine my life being like that. Waking up naturally without the alarm at 6 o'clock in the morning. I wake up thinking that all of my employees are going to do all the work exactly how I wanted it to be, on time, perfectly, exactly as I expected, get the results I wanted, that all of my marketing campaigns are going to be perfect, and this is the campaign that's going to make the difference in my business, that this partnership is going to bring in all the accounts, that it's this event that I'm going to meet the exact person that's going, right? We have this vision for our lives, for our companies, that we're going to, that this product that we're making is really going to leave a lasting difference on the world, right? I mean, that's what it is for me in Entreport. And it's honestly one of the reasons why I left all the other businesses and why I kept on selling. I actually, if I could have sold the interior design business, I would have sold it. But it's why I kept on leaving the other businesses, because they weren't making the difference that I wanted to make. With Entreport, I get to make a real difference for people, which is awesome, right? So, and that's what a lot of people really want. I find that happens a lot. People really, they're like, what is my life about? I really want to make that difference, and they have that vision. I'm going to make that difference. But the reality is, the alarm goes off in the morning. You're frazzled. If you get the shower and you get dressed, you're barely getting out the door, and the kids are screaming, and your employee, if you have employees, you're lucky, but their stuff is half-assed and it's late, and your marketing campaign is failing, and so you spent a bunch more money on something that didn't work, and of course you go to the networking event, and everybody there is not qualified or not interested, and you're, right? Does this sound familiar, people? Yes. The gap between what you expected your life to be and the reality of what your life actually is huge, right? And it just continues for entrepreneurs. It ends up being late nights after you put the kids to bed, bills piling up. It's everything that you expected it wouldn't be. My sister is a chiropractor. And she went to school to be a chiropractor. She learned everything there is about, I always call it cracking, but about adjustments in the body. And, she did it because she wanted to help people. And she believes in this. And she wants to make a difference in people's lives. They didn't teach her anything about business. They didn't teach her anything about billing with insurance companies and scheduling appointments and any of that stuff, and managing people. And so when all of that stuff is imploding, who is she supposed to call? Where is she supposed to get that help? So it's totally expected and understandable that there would be this gap. So don't feel bad. It's just the way it is. And I tell my staff the same thing. It's totally reasonable and expected that my staff, and if you guys have employees, your employees don't deliver what you expect, don't show up on time, don't do what they're supposed to, because where were they trained and shown how to do this? Where do they show you in high school? Where's Employee 101 in high school? It's not there. You're lucky if you get driver's training, learning how to drive a car. Do they even teach you how to boil water? No, not anymore. It's out of school, right? Okay, so, it's reasonable. So my goal here in a very short day is to give you kind of a brief overview and some tools that you can use immediately to help you and alleviate some of this pain and put you on the path, right? There's a few things that will totally make a difference tomorrow, or even tonight if you start doing them. Okay, so I have more about this in this section that you definitely should read on your own, but I'm going to move along because we don't have a ton of time. Okay. So I'm just going to say I like to view building a business a lot like building a house. And just because I, came from that interior design as my last company, we had to look at we looked at architectural plans all the time, and there was a foundation that you laid, and then there was the structure of the building with the pipes and the electricity, and then you had to do the drywall, and everything. All of that had to happen before you could make it pretty, right? Before you could paint it and put the furniture in and everything. And what the humans naturally do is we look at the pretty stuff first. We visualize the pretty stuff first. When you think about going on vacation, and I'm going to go on vacation in a couple weeks, and I'm excited about it, I visualize, and we all do, we imagine like sitting on the beach reading the book, right? That's what we think when we think about vacation. We don't think about the packing of the suitcase and the getting to the airport and the flight and the hotel and right? All the details that it takes to get to those 3 hours of reading the book on the beach, because that's actually ultimately all that I end up doing of that, right? But this whole time, when I'm excited about my vacation, thinking about my vacation, the picture I have is reading on the beach, right? That's the way it is. So and that's the pretty stuff. But actually, running your business, building your business, is all the other stuff. And the vision, the pretty stuff, is just a little bit that happens at the end, right? It's the final step. Okay. In the courses I teach, I like to organize the material into 4 different categories. There's strategy, vision, ops, and leadership, and they kind of come together. This is not a very perfect Venn diagram, I've noticed. I have to fix this. They're supposed to come together in the center. And so my designers fixed that. But I'll tell you what I mean by each of these. Vision is what you guys hold. Vision is to ensure you're headed towards the right goal. Without the right vision, you're not going in any one direction. Like, I'm going to use my vacation example. If I say I want to go on vacation, you want to come, right? Everybody's like, yeah. Maybe not. You don't know, because I haven't told you where I'm going, right? Who wants to go on vacation with me? You guys know I'm going to a beach somewhere, but you don't know where, right? So how many of you guys, if I said, I'm going to Tahiti in 2 weeks, who wants to come? No one wants to come now. But you see, once people know where you're headed, there's a difference, right? You have to have a very clear vision. And so what I have found time and time again, most entrepreneurs don't have a clear vision. Or they have something kind of up in their head, but they've never articulated it. And if they have, or they think they have, when I ask them to produce it on a piece of paper, it takes them a long time, usually several hours or even months. So think about that. Schedule some time to really write down, or if you're more of a visual person, make a vision board. I think words and visuals kind of together make a bigger impact. So if you can do that, that's great. But write down the vision. Where is this business going? That picture in your head that you expect for your business, that picture of what you thought you were getting into, right? Versus where you are right now. That's what you need to write down. So everyone around you, your spouse, your friends, your family, all know where you're headed. Otherwise, they can't support you and help you. So vision really helps everybody, including you, know what direction you're headed. And you know what else I'm going to say about vision? It really is a great tool to eliminate possibilities, right? Because there's so many options in the world, and you'll see this as you know, when you are talking to people and you're like, oh, here's a potential partnership that would take my business in this other direction. It's okay to say no to those partnerships, right? Because it's not steering you in the right direction, right? So when you have your vision clearly articulated and written down, it removes other options and keeps you focused and steering ahead. Because when you're focused, you move forward faster. Okay.